The first Voxshredding of 2025 in the first month of 2025 features the first Blokees Galaxy release of 2025, Galaxy version 6, Parallel Universe. After a cinematic detour in the previous wave, we are back in it with a baseline of G1, a dash of Shattered Glass, and another dose of IDW. By the way, when I filmed this, I entirely missed that Kickback uses some of the Galaxy 5 Transformers 1 bits to have a slightly slimmer body, so thanks to GD Slalom for pointing that out over on Discord. Anyway, let's see what the 6th dimension of 9-boxed, surprise-boxed Transformers Galaxy Blokees has in store. Since this is a parallel universe, we're gonna do things parallel universe style. Back to front, right to left. So up here in the backmost, rightmost spot, that is where we will begin our journey of cracking open Galaxy 6, shredding the boxes, if you will, and seeing what lays inside. I'm going to do at least this first build in full, because every Voxshredding is somebody's first. You might have no idea what a Blockee is or how it works, and so I will take you through one of these builds in its entirety, for context, and boy, this doesn't want to let go. Boy, this doesn't want to... Just give yourself up. Give yourself up to me. Will you? Okay, here we go, here we go. By the way, I have heard on good authority there are no, like, funny hidden previews on here, so I'm not, as far as I know, missing any information. What I am noticing is that this is a first for me. I got snacks. So I'll save this for later. Don't eat this, by the way. That's a joke that I'm making. And we got us the instructions for the wave. I'll just crack this open and set it to a place where I can see. Wait a second. This is only one guy. Is this how you find out who you have now? They just tell you right away? With the... So is this Kickback? Is this just Kickback? No cracking open the loose bag? This is just Kickback. What? There's no more Pogs? Excuse me. This does not look like a milk cap. Interesting. I wonder if this is a Territories thing, or if this is a Wave 6 thing. I'll need to... I mean, this doesn't really matter that much. This is more for my own curiosity, but... This is different. I have opened Waves 4 and 5 of Galaxy, and Wave 2 of Shining, and this is a departure. Now, I do... believe, yes, I had heard that, much like Galaxy 5, there's no more assembly of the little joints, which saves a whole lot of trouble. Now I just gotta pop 4 hands off of TF hands, A1. Still the same sprue, I believe. And, yeah, I guess we just got Kickback here, so... I'll take a look, see if there's anything interesting in the instructions that's new. Doesn't look like it, so let's just start. Let's go from the... I don't know, the bottom up or the torso. Where can I find parts? Where's the... Here we go. Here's the little torso. So this is the core of Kickback. There's some unique tampagraphing. There's a little collectible number there. Most of this will be covered up. I don't even have to put the clear thing in the top anymore. Holy crap. I am a spoiled millennial, let me tell you what. So there's the pelvis. I guess we can look for the crotch bits next. Usually the painted crotch goes on front. Unpainted crotch goes on the back, therefore becoming the buttock. I think this is our painted crotch. There we go. So that's going to go right on there. Then you take your smaller limbs and your even smaller limbs. The ones without pegs on either side are thighs. The ones with a little peg on either side, that is the shoulder. Before you put a shoulder on, however, you need to find the spacer. One of these. Then you can cram your shoulder on. And there the skeleton does begin. I said I'd show you the whole thing, but really, like, you just saw how that all works, so... If there's one thing that we do here, it's efficiency. Now, we got the joints, the Blokees joint. Thank goodness it is now pre-assembled. One of the best developments from Galaxy 5. 1 is the name of Galaxy 5. This one's called Parallel Universe. It took me a while to understand that all of the Blokees Galaxy series actually have names. And, like, I guess low-key they kind of have sort of implied storyline. Where's that other hinge? Here it is. So this is really like the inner skeleton of a Blokees Galaxy or Shining. Now, there's usually some leg and arm bits. The legulars look like this, a little bit smooth, a little bit normal. Just pop them in, as you do. I saw a couple of those clear things. Yeah, so they're not in the neck anymore, but we still have the classic Blokees, clear piece. Going in where the ankle will be found, and usually I just push that on the table. Oh, that was a thunking click. I'm going to do that again. Yeah, and then we grab the feet. These big old Blokees planks. It's really weird now that I've seen a couple of Blokees feet that are like, okay, it's basically the Shining 2 Toy Optimus, who has like almost like little rounded, semi-chibified feet. Although kickbacks already are looking different than the ones from Blokees 4 that I'm glancing at to my left. You can see what I'm talking about over here. I wonder how bespoke all the parts are going to start getting as the series continues going on. Here are your classic Blokees forearms, by the way. They kind of resemble the shin/calves. They're just shorter. And let's just stick a couple of fists on first while we're here. And now we got a little Blokees skeleton. Even more of a skeleton. I keep calling everything a skeleton, because, you know, skeletons just got to try its best. The legs usually will have this clip-on piece with a tampograph. In this case, according to the instructions, the tampographs are identical, but sometimes these pieces are asymmetrical, so you want to check and see what you're doing before you do it. What are the shoulder pieces on this one? I think they are these. Yeah, these look like the these cylindrical turbine-y things from the G1 toy. These ones are going on sideways like this. You can kind of see a little channel there that the two little pegs on the shoulder will follow as they go in, and that'll give you the visual clue of like how to mount them. Also, the classic Blokees torso clamshell to assist in, like, you know, disappearing most of the tampagraphing on the chest, or the inner chest. There are also these little, like, nipples of power on the interconnector shoulder thingies. They seat into, usually, little groovelets within the front and back of the torso to help the sort of oh, that one missed. Get into alignment, please. To help with the sort of pseudo butterfly-ish, rotational-ish movement that those inner pieces provide. Now, Kickback here has also got some torso plate stuff. I think this one goes on the front, like that. Then we got one on the back, and I can see the one on the back is also to accommodate Kickback's little grasshoppery wingy things, which just ball socket themselves in, so they can wiggle. That's kind of cool. I was curious if there'd be like a separate interstitial joint piece to go in there or not, but no, they just jam in. And then I think we're putting Kickback's head together. So the way that this one works, all these Blokees Galaxy Shining folks have like often slightly different ways of assembling the head that pull from, like, you know, 2 or 3 archetypes. This one, the eyes and the lower face are separate things. So the lower face, the jaw and the mouth, you're kind of slotting in like that. And then you got the optic segment, which plugs in and rails in thusly. And then we need to put his ears in, and the ears are where, I was wondering about this, the ears are where the actual ball cup is. That also sometimes is on different things with these folks. And then we're plugging the back of the skull cap on. And we slam a head down. And there's a Kickback. Now, number one, does this guy have a gun? Yes, he does. So, Kickback here is all complete. Here is his included Blokees stand and everything. But, as the first of the Insecticons, Kickback is showing us what the Insecticons are going to be doing. Much like the Dinobots, the Insecticons appear to have their own little Blokees gimmick. By the way, you still get a spare one of these clear ball stem thingies, so I like that that's keeping up. But yonder Insecticons come with the alt mode of a different Insecticon. So, whereas the Dinobots tend to come with, this has to go around here on a certain... Yeah, so there's these two front legs are sticking forwards a little bit more than the other two pairs of legs. So much like the Dinobots, where each wave you'd get the Dinobot in robot mode and then a different figure that's the Dinobot in Dino mode. In this case, the alt modes of the Insecticons are packed in with their buddies, but you get a different one. So, I guess there's just a growing implication of, like, y'all are completists, right? You're just completing these things. Am I doing this right, by the way? Is this arm go on now, or do I put the, this little horn thing clips in separately? And it moves? Hang on a second. That's... I wasn't expecting, like, any moving parts on tiny, shrapnel here. But tiny shrapnel can, like... I mean, I guess it's also maybe shrapnel's little mouth wiggling, but... Tiny shrapnel can also move the little stag horns. That's cool. There's no face there. But, you know, these are obviously the little arms and everything. So, this is a cute way to continue the Dinobot gimmick now that we're almost done with the Dinobots in Blokees Galaxy. By the way, usually a Blokees will have, you know, 2 fists which can grip a thing, and then 2 open hands, and it's a common thing to just, you know, if they have a thing to grip, you put an open hand on the other side so that it looks dynamic. Blokees articulation, if you haven't seen it before, is these little things are ball-socketed. The neck is ball-socket connection, as are the shoulders, which have this, you know, moving inner piece. There's usually a cut, by the way, in the top here to allow for a T-pose. The nature of that hinge means that you have bicep swivel at the top of the hinge, ball socket connection with ovular wiggle on the wrist, a big ol' waist joint, ball socketed hips that can usually kick forward and backwards enough for my taste. You can kind of maneuver around if you have to. The same hinge and peg connection to create a thigh swivel and knee joint, and a ball-socketed ankle that usually goes pretty dang deep. Blokees are very fun little action figures, and there's a reason why they have, evidently, going by the discourses on my social medias, they've breached containment and turned a lot of people onto non-converting Transformers IP character action figure collectible pieces in surprise boxes. Still can't get over the instructions just being like it's for a single character and like having the spoiler up here. I guess they fold them in a way where it's not obvious if you just peek inside. I really want to know, because I'm noticing also, you know, obviously English language packaging. Let's go back middle. English language packaging, so this must be for a domestic release. Obviously, you know, Blokees release figures in China as well, with a little bit less English on the packages. Yeah, I'm curious if maybe this is just how it is for, like, Galaxy 1, which I think has been out at Walmarts for a while now. Or, you know, I think Galaxy 2 and 3 just got spotted recently as of this recording. This is January 2025. Anyway, that means that there's actually going to be less mystery going in here. I'll open from the top this time just to prove my little point about the lack of a surprise, you know, like, oh, coming in Galaxy 7 kind of thing. That preview was in Galaxy 5, and I didn't notice till I'd finished that Voxshredding, because I kept opening them from the bottom. And there's a reason why. Well, this glue is just tough as hell. But yeah, right here, it's like, there's glue spots here and here. It says, more characters, stay tuned. But there's no, like, silhouettes hidden in here, as far as I can tell. So, we've got our 2 bags. Maybe for this one, just to mix it up a little, well, we've got our, this is a, hey, wait. This silica gel is smaller than this silica gel. Wonder what that means. Okay, now I want to know. Okay, who is this then? Who gets a smaller silica gel? It's Durge. Why? you get a smaller silica gel? What did you do? What did you do to deserve this? Like, are you... Yeah, it's Durge. His face fell off the table. But, that's him. Good thing I got an eye for catching faces when they fall off the table. Well, I've built one Blokees Galaxy-style Seeker before from Shining 2. That was Sunstorm. I'm going to assume that Durge here is very much similar, so... unless something really takes me by surprise, like, I assume his cone head-style leg wings are going to be different. But, let's see, how can we do this? What's most interesting? I'm going to take the jumble, and let's at least clean up the bits that we do understand. Let me get Kickback out of the way. Let's get the card propped up so we can watch what happens as we go. Now, while I was fusing all that together, I noticed a couple things. Number one, I actually had to put one of these little clear ball sockets into this neck stump, unlike Kickback. And Durge came with 2 extra little smoky clear things. I don't really understand why. Also, the rest of this was extremely similar to what we went through with Sunstorm in Shining 02. So I'm not going to go through all the specifics, but I will point out asymmetrical lower leg front clip-on pieces because that's where those wings go. So these lower wings just friction clip in here. So you can actually flap them around, which I think is really helpful for, if anything, display and storage, so you don't have to have these, like, always sticking off the sides. You can, you know, clean them up a little bit. On the back here, there is still another little wing vestige, and you get, with an extra one that's lying over here, these little, like, double nipples, double ball barbell. Stick one into that socket, hook one into this socket. Now you've got a little double ball socket motion butt winglet. There's also a chest piece on here. It's kind of an interesting shape because it looks like an airplane piece. And then for the cone heads, it's a face and an optic/ball cup piece. And then you just take the cone and you slide it on like a hat. That's pretty funny. So that's how the cone heads are going to work, it seems. They are a lot like the Seekers, but, you know, they invented a cone hat. They invented a way to have the little leg wings mounted. So one can assume that in Galaxy 7 and possibly 8, we'll see ramjet and thrust. I guess we'll find out. No other accessories. The Seekers' Seeker cannons are a ball socket connected to the shoulder pads. So I guess I could actually hand swap in just the open hands. So Durge can, like, soliloquize about his grand designs, and doom death comes to he who crosses my hugs. I am feeling the slightly higher multi-layered with spot gloss hand feel of these non-pog micro trading cards. Kind of sturdy. Durge did not come with 2 extras of these. Kickbacks rolled off of his trading card and into the shot, and I didn't notice. So this is Kickbacks, that's Durge's. They only came with 1 extra each. Keep them separate, boys! Worst part about these individual manuals is now it's going to behoove me to keep all of them, and that's too many. I'll have to sort this out later. Right now I'll be sorting out the back left box from this case of Wave 6 of Galaxy. So, let's see, we got 2 Decepticons so far. We can't hat trick, we're out of Decepticons. Those were the only 2 Decepticons in the Wave, actually. So, at this point, it's an Autobot show, with one of them being kind of a funny Autobot, and the other one being, I guess, in some circles, another kind of funny Autobot. Before I see whose one I got here, let's see, is there any silica gel? Where's my silica? There's no silica gel! Okay, so who's in here? I'm not opening the manual. The lack of silica gel has baffled me. I'm gonna do this old style. We're gonna dump the bag and identify colors. This looks like a swoop. This looks like it is, according to the trading card, Alt Mode Swoop. So Alt Mode Swoop does not come with silica gel. I don't know if I need to be reading a whole lot into that, but what is an enthusiast fan of things without reading into a whole bunch of... Wait a sec, wait, what's this? flight stand. Is this new? Is this the first time? Is this the first time there's a thing that goes into this? Oh, I'm so hype. I'm so hype. I've been waiting to see things go into these holes for like 3 waves now. And, oh, hey, wait a second. It says right here, Swoop alternate mode. Did it? No, okay, it always says Swoop alternate mode. Okay, that's just part of the... That's part of the photo. Because Swoop alternate mode isn't on the photo. Okay, never mind. I thought there was even, like, that it was actually impossible to surprise yourself if you glance at this thing. But, yeah, this is a Dinobot alt mode Blokees build, which means this one is made of parts of the robot mode, but it's going to work a little different. So we're going to have to do, I think, actually, this entire thing. There's his bespoke torso. Number 3. So this is, I assume this is going to have a different tempo on the robot mode one. So alt mode is number 3. So we're clipping this together just inside this shell. Okay, this is, I'm remembering now. I haven't done a Dinobot alt mode since wave 4. So I need to get this red piece in here. And then completely disappear the little torso that was once in there. Oh, this is neat. These even look like the Blokees forearms stuck on the sides. There's something about this approach that I find intensely endearing. This, like, make the Dinobots out of parts that are shared between both their modes, even though our things do not do the converty. And then it looks like I'm even grabbing little fused versions of thighs as far as the cups, and then, like, shins and calves as far as the shapes. And then what, we're just jamming these little booties in here. So ball socket ankles, AO. And then these just go onto the same shared Blokees pelvis. That's adorable. Alright, what else am I doing? So we gotta make some wings. This is the right wing. And this is the... Oh, man, I'm really glad there are photographs. This is also the right wing. So these two go together like this to form that. Which means that these two will form this. And then... Oh, that's what these little things are. These are like little missiles. So these go into the little little launcher... I guess launcherettes. Given that these are Blokees minis. Well, the Defender series is like the actual mini-mini, I guess. If these are Blokees mediums... Unless you're going to call Classic Series mediums, because Action Edition's big. These little... What's the point I'm trying to make here? They're small. This is a backpack, so this thing has the... Oh, I was wondering what this was. This is the tail. Okay, so we stick this in here. And, okay, it's going to be hinged. Lots of friction hinges. So that's 2 points of articulation on the wings. And then I think we're just putting the head together. I see how this goes in. I can see how this is keyed. But this is incredibly difficult. Less difficult than I thought, actually. Once I figured out what it was doing, in that it's those blue eyes, it kind of jammed itself in there with less resistance than I expected. Still very cluttered, though. So take care and don't drop things. Mouth joint, and then this is where the ball cup lives. And then we're slamming this onto... That's a much smaller neck joint than what I'm used to seeing. And we got some awk. Sorry, I sneezed. There's an effect part here, too, that goes inside the mouth. So eat it, Galaxy Series Grimlock. I don't need to get a special chase version to put lasers in Swoop's mouth. I hope I'm not breaking the ring when I do this. That looks very, very... This is very tight, and the little overhanging cuppy part looks very thin, so I'm going to be a little bit careful here. But, yeah, this way he can belch laser. And then it looks like this... Yeah, this just pegs in back here. So you straight up got a flight stand. That's wild. Some leg articulation down here, ankle articulation. 2 hinges on each wing, and a ball socket neck with a hinged jaw. For posterity, here's the trading card. I don't know, are any of you scanning that QR? You better not be, that's mine, that's my QR code. That's our first Autobot, and it's one of the weird ones. I guess there are actually 3 weird ones. You all know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you'll figure it out. Let's go into the middle row, and once again, we're gonna go right to left, so here's middle right. And, I'm tired of trying to pry these lids open. I'm using tools. I'm a hunter-gatherer. Whoa. Whatever. I'm gonna get in here one way or another. You can't stop me, paper products. You also can't stop me, paper plane. You can't stop me, PR! I don't know why I'm yelling random people's internet pseudonyms now. But, let's see who's inside. No silica. Where's my silica? Silica gel! Thank goodness. Is this another 3 different sizes of silica gel, one of which with a different alphabet on it? This is wild. Also, the package, so these feel like paper, but this one feels more like a tea bag. I don't want to look at the pamphlet. I want to do this the fun old-fashioned way. Let's dump this out. This is Wheeljack with his, as I saw pointed out by at least 2 other people I know, his very strange torso. Well, by strange, his very textured torso. You can rub that a little bit. So that's a trading card. Let's see if there's anything pertinent in the build. I'm not really seeing anything pertinent in the build other than the chest and the wings. So why don't we skip ahead to the chest and the wings? And, well, I mean, there's the head. Chest, wings, and partial head. Why don't we do all that? Let me just get my, hang on, I gotta get this open first. And I'll get some spit into my palms. Alright. Partial assembly! Wait. The pelvis fell out. That's why that didn't work. Okay, well, get the base out of here. We don't need that here. We know what the hands, we're just gonna go get them off of there. Alright, now, partial assembly! Oh, something's weird. Wait, where'd the wings, wait. Where'd the wings go? Oh, they went right here. Like a G1 transformer. They swivel down. They just peg in. All you gotta know is that little hooked nubbin here needs to be on top and not the bottom. Anyway, other than that, the interesting stuff with Wheeljack, actually part of it is the head. Because you're taking a bunch of pieces, like the cup is his ears and eyes. Then you stick his forehead on like that. And then you stick his, like, mouth on with his eyelids, and by that I mean you stick his forehead onto the rest of his face like that, and then stick it on because it all is railed together. And then you go around to the back and, like, stick on a little, like, base of the skull ring, and then the back of his little triple crown to finish it all off and seal up the head and get all of the little pegs and rails aligned, and it's sometimes a little bit of a task to get them all aligned. There we go. Maybe I was supposed to put that on first before that little underhang thing. Anyway, there's Wheeljack's skull. The front of the chest is in 2 pieces. One of those pieces has a sideswipe style ball socket connected shoulder thing. And then the things to hold the little inner nipplets here on these shoulder extension cups is in this blue piece, I think, which pegs into the inside of the white chest piece, thusly filling it out with tampographed windshieldage, like that. And now this whole assembly is now a real Blokees Galaxy chest that, yeah, holds everything together. It's kind of wild, the little variations that you can catch in this series. Also, we want to give him a fist. I'll go on this side so that he can hold his little gun. Give him an open hand on the other side. Also, because the Galaxy 5 TF1 folks had their hole on the bottom, I realized I should be looking for it, and it looks like we're back to the classic inner or outer forearm hole on Galaxy 6. And, yeah, Wheeljack here is, like, oddly, I don't know how else to put it. It feels like the blue is a new color on him, even though it's not, but the way that it lines things, something about it feels odd. I like the way he looks, though. The extra greeble on the chest, because it has all this extra paint stuff, and you know, his back has also got all this paint stuff. Generally speaking, I'm into it. I also had to plug a little clear ball down into his neck stump, so I think so far, unless something changes, that was a Kickback exclusive. Having that pre-installed. There's actually, like, some, you know, information up here, so it's not just an instruction manual. That's also making me actually want to hang on to all these paperworks. Damn it. Look at this. They can't... I'm going to try to fold them up, but they're unfolding themselves through sheer force of paper hingery. Alright, now the middle. Who is in the center of Galaxy 06? Who is the linchpin? Who is the... I'm going to cut this again. Who is the nexus of this aforementioned parallel universe? That didn't really help much, did it? And I just have to rip through all the glue anyway. The innermost member of this wave is... Shattered Glass Ratchet. This is the primary one that I meant when I said weird Autobots. So this is just a recolor of Ratchet and Ironhide from way back in Galaxy 01, if I recall correctly. I mostly know that because I know someone who was trying to buy these blind boxed in their domestic USA releases. I'm not in the USA, I'm in Canada. I don't know what domestic means. And they just kept pulling Ratchets. So, hey, you know, it's time to cap off that Ratchet celebration with the evil one. So, since this is a Wave 1 guy, I'm gonna save us all a little bit of trouble here, and, now I'm curious about a couple of things here. Number one, I do know that they redid this tampograph to be a flat line, which is pretty darn cute. Number two, is that face new? Because, you know, the red optics are not helping, but I'd swear he has a malevolent smirk. So, was that the case for Galaxy 1's Ratchet and or Ironhide? Or is this just a generic face that's reading differently to me because I know who it is? Either way, the colors on this, I think, are pretty darn nice. I'm never one who knows my Shattered Glass colors, like, you know, off the top of my head, perfectly Pantone-wise, but these feel a little bit less minty than the Gen Selects version. This is not some kind of, like... mint ambulance famous VTuber, but this is instead more of like a dull medical scrubs green, and I'm still okay with that too. So I don't know if the Shattered Glass Ratchet fandom out there has preference. I'm fine with all of it so far. Trading card. It's shiny. All right, left of center in the center. Who's it gonna be? I thought I'd just peel this one open again. No, these boxes are so dense and heavily glued, there is no nice way. There is no nice way. We just have to raw dog it. Just let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Just let me in. Oh, please let me in. Thank you. I want to know who's inside my bag. And I don't want to look at the pamphlet to find out. I'm really set on this silly approach of wanting to rip a bag and dumping the parts. I think this is more exciting, because that's how we find out that, I think I got the secret rare. I got the secret rare. Uh-oh. Because, like, this secret rare is one I did actually kind of want, because I think it looks really cool, and I think the concept's fun, because it's from that one panel in IDW when Optimus in IDW got, you know, force fielded up. And I wonder if this is going to be different. This is different, too! Everything's different! Wait, what's his slogan? I will right this errant ship. Primary function sheriff. Anyway, how could this happen to me? Now I need to track... As though this is some kind of giant problem, right? Uh-oh, I pulled the secret rare that is desirable, that I wanted anyway, but now I also gotta go get myself a single of, like, red and blue normal Optimus. Nonetheless, I'm going to make us a little, at least, semi-skeleton, so we can see this build without all the boring bits. So, hi! I can only do a little bit of this, because look at how shiny everything is! Look at the torso! This is unreasonable that I'm going to be locking this entire silver-painted thing away inside of a cavernous chest. I forgot how oh yeah, this is using the wide boys trick of adding just dedicated shoulder stalks onto the torso. So we'll do that. Like, also the friggin' gradient on the forearm guns, which, by the way, you want to make sure you have the peg side outward on these ones. I know I heard, you know, people talk about how, wow, they just cover everything in paint on the fancy versions. I didn't really think about what that would mean. Now I've finally seen one in person, and they really do cover everything in paint on the shiny version. Like, there's even a front tampo on the thighs that I think is not on the regular one. I didn't even clip the shins on, because, like, look how shiny this all is. And then you take one of these, you clip this on, and, like, it's almost chromatic on the silver. Silver part on the outside, by the way. These are asymmetrical. This is wild. I understand the draw now. Also, these things, you want to have the little pipettes on the outside. Where's the top cut? The cut is where the top is. So this one goes on this side. And that means this one goes on this side. To the person who's currently typing, will you sell me yours? No. Probably not. It's too pretty. I gotta fill the boob vents in with shiny blue. That's a really cool effect, how you can see it through there. This is very striking. This is a very striking looking thingamy. How do I get this on? How do I get... There we go. I'm gonna do the head. I haven't even gone into the like, look at the... I'm just gonna cover this intensely shiny cup and eyeballs piece with an intensely shiny face, around which I will clasp an intensely shiny helmet. The thing that's blowing my mind is, like, how much, like, shiny stuff is being buried by this process. Anyway, time to put his glitter cannons on. Is there... I think these are identical, so I can just stick one here, and it adds this overhanging bit. And when I say glitter, like, these things have glitter in the translucent plastic mix. So they are literally catching and spraying light everywhere. Same thing for his gun. It's just a look at it. This machine was made for glittering. Yeah, I guess I'll pop him a little hand swap here. Give him an open hand, which are also covered in paint. Yeah, holy moly. There's also effect parts, by the way. A double stack effect parts thing here. There's two little peg holes offset for this one to go in. And this can go into the barrel of the gun. I don't know if this comes with the regular Optimus or not. From this set, the IDW Optimus. But that's a very cool effect part. I can't remember if they're doing unique pieces for the hidden ones now, or if they stopped doing that after waves 2 and 3. But yeah, there's an effect part. There's two more hands. This is wild looking. Like, this thing is... Here's a trading card. I did some due diligence. This comes with the normal IDW Optimus as well. It is not a unique part, so they are still done, and hopefully always done, with unique parts on the hidden pieces, or hidden figures. Anyway, we're going to do right hand front row. We're into the final row, the final three. We know who they are, and yet let's continue on this adventure, because maybe you don't remember who they are, and I'm not going to tell you who they could be. I'm going to leave it up to you to... Did something just fall out? I think that was my imagination or a piece of detritus from my desktop. This still feels sealed, I think. There's nothing to lose out of this one. I still have my teabag style desiccant on this one. I don't know. Let's find out if something fell out or not. Let's see who it is. Did you lose a piece? Sunstreaker from G1? Maybe it was one of the spare little clear ball socket joints that have just been kind of rolling around on the desk this whole time. In which case, whatever. I have 1.5 million of them now. And by that I mean approximately, let's see, 18 probably 27 of them, if I were to hazard a guess. So Sunstreaker is a car boy, and I think that means Sunstreaker is going to be pretty basic to put together. Let's just take a look, see if there's anything untoward. Nope, his chest is even just one piece, not like Wheeljack. It's just his backpack that's kind of funny. So why don't we skip ahead to the backpack? I'll get this out of the way for us. There is something weird about the shoulder pads. They're in two pieces. So for the classic Sunstreaker shoulder pad gizmo, you've got the little sticky uppy thing, but then you got this other piece that you, with two little pegs, connect onto it. And then that is the full shoulder pad. And then what's super weird is that these don't have the cut in the top, so this is a little Blokees Galaxy fella who has vaguely limited outward shoulder motion in that that's as far as it goes. I don't really care, but I thought that was interesting. Anyway, his backpack, I kind of built it up and then just noticed it's just literally just two pieces. So you stick this piece on this piece, and then put this on his back. And whoa! The whole character silhouette has changed! So, that's Sunstreaker. I don't yet have the regular Galaxy sideswipe, so I don't know what he looks like next to that one. Shining sideswipe is somewhere else right now, so I don't have anyone for him to hang out with except for himself. But you know, maybe that's just how Sunstreaker likes it. A little bit of a personal date, a little bit of a self-dating time. Take yourself out for dinner. Self-love is good, etc., etc. You get out of here. Because we're into the front center box, we're going to find out who was front and center. Who was in the box that I pulled out of the front of this for the sake of a B-roll shot before I began this live audio recording. Piece of cardboard. So, who are you going to be, and what shape of desiccant pack will you have? It's a small one this time. So this is my second small desiccant pack. That makes me, let's see, we've got 2 smalls, 2 tea bags, and 1 regular. Am I missing one, or did I only have 5 out of 8? So 3 of these did not have desiccant packs, or I threw them out. One or the other, I can't remember. But in this final penultimate bag, we've got the other Swoop. Alright, so this is going to be robot mode Swoop, whose card should confirm, whose instruction booklet should double confirm. Yeah, here we go, robot mode Swoop. So we're going to get some of this stuff done now. I'm going to once again skip us ahead just a little bit, save us a bit of time, because Swoop does appear to just be Blokees Galaxy with funny backpack. However, I'll bring us there in stages, maybe. Let's do this a little bit at a time. Let's get these out of the way, and, I don't know. I'll see what comes together when I slap them together. It was almost it. I'm just getting a little bit tired, you know? It's been a long, big old shooting day. Anyway, there's a shoulder pad. Clips on like that. There's a couple, little familiar-looking rocket-launchy guns. Even though I slapped the model together, sorry, the Blokees together, something in my intuition told me that the instructions actually say to have the holes on the outsides of the arms. I wonder if it's for something like this. You know, who knows, but on all the control art, he seems to just be holding them. There's also a little chest piece, which is a little dino head, and I think it might be the same one. I'm not sure. I'm going to take a look. Because this one clips in. Oh, no, it's not the same one. Because this one's got the eyes painted on. Never mind, it's completely different. Also, there's the return of the little bird pterodactyl foot, but now it's a kneecap on one of these clip-on pieces. And we've still got the same wings, but now they just clip in back here. So the Swoop's just got, like, straight-up alt mode wings available in robot mode. And hey, thank goodness when I slapped this together, all the busy work was done on the head, because there was like eyeballs, face, back of helmet, front of helmet, and it all kind of had to be lined up with a bunch of different pegs and holes, and it was, you know, hypothetically could have been really finicky work if I didn't skip ahead a little bit using my skills. It looks like you could store the weapons in these holes here on the wings. And other than that, this is another Blokees person, but with wings. Let's get the other Swoop out just to put them next to each other for a second so you can see the breadth of the implied play pattern. Yeah, this dino head is a million times bigger than the one in his chest. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's still some shared parts. You'll notice there's actually some thigh tampo here that matches these details here. So it's implied that these gigantic lower legs just folded up into here. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is why I kind of like this idea that they're doing with the Dinobots, because physically it doesn't make sense, but they put just enough for you to see it, to kind of like to see the magic, if that makes sense. Either way, we need you guys out of the way for box finale, and hopefully you know who this is. I think it's kind of funny that this one ended up being last. And you know what? Just in the spirit of new experiences, rather than dumping the parts, why don't we, you know, respect Galaxy 6 and what it's trying to do for us here? And we can just take our... Okay, how are we? It's 2 of each! That's wild. So we just added another medium one. I think it's the same. Oh no, they're kind of different. It's these two tea bags, and 2 little ones. So it's a little bit there. 2, 1, and 1, but these 2 we could just pretend go together for the sake of the bit. Anyway, if we crack open this, it is IDW Megatron, Autobot Megatron, the final figure of Galaxy 6 that we'll be putting together in this Voxshredding. So let's get the bags ripped! Ooh, the effect parts are back. Look at that. I remember this. I did this once. I guess they made these for both of them. I like the color on this one a whole lot more. That's very pretty. Shimmering Autobot symbol and everything on yonder trading card. Alright. This guy's build should be fairly straightforward given what I'm seeing on the instruction sheet. So I'm gonna skip us ahead again a little bit and just get to the good part. And I figured, why don't we end on just a satisfying series of noises, you know, as all Voxshredding should. Let's have some good onomatopoeia. Let's have, well, not onomatopoeia, this is actually Foley, but regardless, there's a look at the innermost of the nefarious Megatron redemption arc Verdot. And then this very elaborately tampographed torso piece. We've got these shoulder bits with tampos on the backs, but they go on this way. And one more for the road. Ooh, satisfying. Let's smack a head down. Let's pop a backpack on. And then let's clip some leg bits on. These are asymmetrical ones, in case you were curious. Now the fusion cannon. This is really cool because there's 2 parts to this. A, look at the forearms. These are different forearms, and you want this kind of ridged-looking slot thingy to be here, and not on the inside. This other forearm's different, and they're rounds. These are unique forearms for IDW Megatron. Now, if we put the cannon together, it actually, with this little keyed system, slots in there. That's super satisfying, and, like, way more satisfying than a peg. So, I think this is really cool. Like, it's shaped for the curvature of the forearm, and it's satisfying. And the effect part can go into the front if you want some, you know, ka-chow to be happening. What a nice man. Anyway, the one bummer about this Megatron is I noticed when I was assembling this stuff, I noticed he has the T-pose cuts in the top of these shoulder pads, but the shoulder pads are also floating a bit higher to match his stature, so despite the T-pose cuts, he's been Sunstreakered. He can only get his arms up to a certain amount. I mean, it's still borderline a T-pose, but it doesn't make use of those cuts, unfortunately. And I don't think I put them in wrong. I checked the graphic, like, the rail is there. So that is how it mounts. So yeah, it's up to here. When I went farther, I think I actually had dismounted the shoulder pad. So FYI, if this, you know, matters to you, then now you know. But also, like, you know, settle down. It's a minifig. football, you know, a medium fig. I had neglected to see if this was the same numbered torso as Dino Mode Swoop, and it demonstrably is not. It says 4. Anyway, trying to collect them all for the victory lap, and bits and pieces are going to be falling all over the place, because what a mess of a filming setup I did this time, but I don't care, because I had, like, fun. Anyway, that's Blokees Galaxy version 6 with the friggin' secret version, hidden version IDW Optimus front and center. What a neat wave. Again, like, wave 4 was my first one, but having looked at Galaxy 1, 2, and 3 from afar, it feels like 4 was a small escalation, 5 was a streamlining, and 6 is both. Galaxy version Blokees once again hit just right on my third outing with the line, and I finally got to see a secret chase figure in person. I finally understand the plight of Live from Diaclona, as I feel incomplete without the regular IDW Optimus, and extremely unwilling to part with this deliciously shiny blue fellow in order to do so. Is this empathy? Regardless, I am far from done Voxshredding these heavily hand-feelable goofballs. Lots more clapping in my future. Whatever our entwined fate may be, this has been Internet Personality Vangelis, and I don't know, I'm thinking of doing a jump cut trick compilation from this series. I just like watching my hands do that. And, you know, shouts out to Georges Méliès.